We meet again at last. The circle is now complete.
What's the world coming to?
Well, you got a problem with what I did, Anthony?
Oh, no. Hey, no.
Fucking rat anyways. Whole family's all rats. Would have grew up to be a rat.
Stupid bastard. I can't fucking believe it.
Gee, I'm real sorry your mom blew up, Ricky.
Now you're gonna dig the fucking thing. You're gonna dig the hole. You're gonna do it. I got no fucking line. You're gonna do it.
Yes, I'll take the fucking hole. I don't give a fuck.
I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was pure and simply evil.
Jesus Christ. Mister, you okay in there?
Put some Vintage coffees around here someplace.
Have you any idea what the cost of your actions is? What their effect might be? Or you to give them hope? What do you give them? We give them happiness. And they give us authority. Groovy.
What's going on, all you wild rascals? It's Logan Myerz here for the Cinephellas Podcast, episode 77. Doing a podcast solo tonight, and hopefully you guys are all out there, staying safe and indoors and away from all the craziness that's going on. Hopefully you guys are enjoying time with your family and friends. It seems like Illinois and other states are opening back up and going back to normal life. Just make sure you wear that Mortal Kombat mask while you go out so you don't get infected with that coronavirus. But lately we've been super busy here at Cinephellas. We've been taking on a lot of projects lately, a lot of podcasts, and we introduced a new video game series that we have on our YouTube channel and a new Twitch channel where Walker Sexy Ranger, also known as D-Pads and Dice, will be streaming video games on the Twitch channel, a lot of old and new video games, and then we're also going to be doing a video game review series on YouTube and Twitch as well. And our first Level Up with Cinephellas video is posted on our YouTube channel. I did a review of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, had an absolute blast with this video game, played it over the past few months, finally beat the story, had a great time with it. So if you guys are interested in that game or play the game, check out my Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order review. And hopefully you guys enjoyed as much as I did. It was just an ultimate blast. Definitely one of the best Star Wars video games they put out in a long time, and I really had a great time with this. Also going on our YouTube channel, we have a fellas giveaway for The Invisible Man that we just gave away a copy of that, but we got more movies coming up that we're going to be giving away to one of you lucky and beautiful followers out there, so stay tuned for that. We have Bob Ward, one of the newest Cinefellas. He just reviewed Scoob, the animated prequel, I guess you would call it, a Scooby-Doo, how Shaggy and Scoob met. He had a review of that on our YouTube channel. I reviewed Arkansas last week, a really great independent flick directed by Clark Duke. Really funny-ass guy from Arkansas. I love that guy. So if you guys are interested in that film, I have a non-spoiler review on our YouTube channel. Besides that, we've been shooting a bi-weekly podcast. If you're interested in seeing our beautiful faces and hearing us talk about Mike Tyson probably more than we should, check out episode 76 on our YouTube channel. So we got a lot of great stuff coming up for Cinephellas, a lot of projects, videos, streaming on Twitch. We got written reviews hidden in our website. We're always updating Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram with entertainment news. So if you guys haven't already, go ahead and check us out on our social media outlets. Type in Cinephellas and you'll find our pages there. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and we really appreciate it. But with that being said, I just checked out the new independent film Becky, starring Kevin James, Joel McHale, and Lulu Wilson. It's an action thriller. The premise is a teenager's weekend at a lake house with their father takes a turn for the worse when a group of convicts wreaks havoc on their lives. And they sure do that in this film. Originally, this film was aimed for an NC-17 rating because it's very brutal, in your face, and extremely gory. They toned it down a bit, probably cut out some scenes, and now it's R-rated. It's an hour and 40 minutes long. It's directed by Jonathan Milott and Cary Murnion. And they're really fantastic directors, and they really brought something excellent to the new thriller. One of my favorite films of the year, Becky. If you guys aren't familiar with Jonathan or Cary, they directed one of my favorite films from 2014, which was Cooties with Uncle Elijah Wood. They're a really great team and collaborators, and they work well together. Today I had the honor of interviewing Cary and Jonathan about the new film, Becky, and really picking their mind, talking how they got involved in this project, why their movies always put normal people in really extreme situations. What it was like, working with Kevin James, Joel McHale, and Lulu Wilson, talking about, working on set, how much blood was all over the place in this film. So it's a really awesome setup. I had a really great time with the directors, talking about making this movie, what inspired them, the work they put into this, working with these actors, a lot of great questions in the newest interview for the Cinephellas Podcast. So let's get to the interview with Jonathan and Cary, shall we?
How you doing, Logan? Very good.
Hey, good morning. So it's a privilege to talk to you guys today. I'm a huge fan of your work. Love Cooties, and we just checked out Becky, and we're blown away by this movie. Really great. So first of all, how did you guys get involved with this project?
Our managers and our agents brought us the original script, so we pitched on it, and basically we really loved the general idea of it, but we thought it didn't quite deliver. The original script didn't quite deliver on the premise of this 13-year-old girl kicking ass. And that was essentially our pitch to the producers. It's like, we love this idea, but let's make sure that it delivers. And they said, yeah, I think you're right. So we worked with writers Ruckus and Lane to do that, to make it kick ass as much as possible. And that's pretty much the way it went over the course of a year.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I was surprised by how intense it gets. And it seems like in your movies you put normal people in extreme situations, such as Cooties, Bushwick, and Becky. Why is that?
Yeah, that's interesting. I think that's to a certain extent, that's just kind of the types of films we love, from Star Wars to any other movie. It, usually starts with someone that we can relate to a certain extent, and then have them doing extreme things. We love that idea of taking a normal person who isn't trained in martial arts and trained to kick ass, and seeing them fight in a messy, kind of real visceral way that I think that's something that we always talk to the stunt coordinators about, is we don't want people doing any sort of kung fu kick block or anything that looks trained. And it's really hard because most stunt coordinators are martial artists, and of course they're trained to take a punch and roll with it or do something like that. So we're constantly just making sure that message comes across is let's make it messy. Let's make it more visceral and crazy. And that's why we were excited in this film that even though Lulu and Kevin James both had great stunt doubles who really did some amazing work, we were really lucky that the main actors were actually able to do a lot of the stunt work themselves. And it just like the performances themselves, they really know how to bring something unique to the performance, and not only in the emotional moments, all the way through to the stunt moment. It's the more the actor can do, we found, the more you really see that character come through.
No, absolutely. I love the cast of this movie, and especially seeing Kevin James in this type of role I haven't seen before is really fantastic. What was it like working, with Kevin James, Joel McHale, and Lulu Wilson?
Oh, it was a dream come true. They were all just so willing to take it to the next level. Joel McHale is a huge star, has done a million things, and I think the first day on set, he was taking flying leaps into the dirt and lying in the dirt face first, just willing to do anything and go above and beyond. I think what any actor of his stature needs to do. He just was willing to do it. Same with Kevin James, from running up a hill at full blast to just wearing a makeup prosthetic across his face all day. Just these things that you don't really know how much work goes into, but just a lot of pain and suffering that they're just willing to do, and just work nonstop. Lulu, we've just been selling her praises across the board because it's so hard making movies with kids and It really limits the time you have on set, and you're really dependent upon them to bring out the emotion of a character, to reach the levels of emotion that this character needed to reach. And Lulu Wilson at every step was able to do it and exceed our expectations, and also remain professional and have a lot of fun on set. Even though, she'd be covered in blood or getting thrown, or slammed or any number of crazy things happening to her. She was willing to do as many stunts as possible and, just perform at such a high level. It was really, really exciting.
Absolutely. Lulu killed it in this movie. And I was just going to ask if all the actors had fun with all the blood on set, because this is a pretty brutal and gory movie. They have fun playing around in that, the practical effects and the fake blood.
Yeah. It's hard to know. I think sometimes the blood is fun at first, and then after about an hour where it's starting to get cold outside and you're sticky and you're but I would say that everybody, like I said, did not complain, and we really did have a lot of fun on the set, even though there was a lot of pressure and a lot of intense things that we had to do. But the minute the camera stops rolling, Joel is the first one to crack a joke and keep everybody laughing. Kevin as well. The most intense scenes, I remember, trying to stay focused while we're still rolling, and Kevin's off camera, just doing some sort of practical joke that, is bringing tears to my eyes, because it's just so hilarious. They're just funny dudes. There's a reason they're known for their comedy, because they're just inherently hilarious.
Absolutely. I love them. Did you have an overall idea how you wanted Kevin to play this part of Dominic, or was it more of a collaborative process between, him and you guys?
Oh, we definitely had a very strong idea of what we wanted. And we were excited when we first started talking to Kevin about it, that those ideas aligned almost exactly. So that was another reason we felt really great about bringing him on, even though it very decisively was subverting kind of his previous characters in TV and film. But yeah, he was just very collaborative right from the start, very open to our suggestions, but also just had amazing instincts. And right from the start, we just had a great dialogue about how to nail down the tone of this. And if anything, the main thing that he wanted to do was just keep it subtle, even to the extent of cutting out a lot of the dialogue that he could have been saying, and make it more about his performance and his looks and the subtle gestures.
Yeah, for sure. Like I was saying, I've never seen a role for Kevin James like this before, and his character really terrified me, and I'll never look at Paul Blart the same way. I think that's totally going to happen. All the Paul Blart fans are just going to be like, oh my gosh, he's so different. Yeah, I noticed a lot of comedic actors have been going into darker roles. Like Vince Vaughn just did it with Arkansas, and then you have Kevin James with this role. It's pretty cool seeing the darker sides of comedians.
Adam Sandler did it really well with Uncut Gems as well.
Oh yeah, that too. Absolutely, one of the best movies of the year for sure. So it's awesome seeing that for actors.
Yeah.
How do you two kind of collaborate when directing a film? Do you break it down to certain scenes, where one takes this scene, the other takes the other? Or is it kind of working as a team throughout the entire film?
Yeah, we've been working together for a long time now, and we've kind of evolved the way we work together. And we found that basically one of us takes a lead on a specific scene or project. And what that means is we do a lot of collaboration, a lot of preparation. So we're prepping all through pre-production and development of the film. So once we get to that point where we're on set, one of us can really take the ideas and the direction for both of us, and really make sure that there's no confusion on set. So one of the ways we do that is we both wear an earpiece. So we have sound in one ear, and then we have communications with the other director in the other ear. And we might have the lead will be with the actors and the cinematographer, and the other person will be back at the monitors, looking at a big, widescreen monitor to really check the picture and convey any specific notes in the ear of the person on set. But by doing this, we found that there's no confusion on set. We make sure that the person who's the lead that day on set is the person that everybody communicates with, and it really simplifies things and allows the set to run smoothly.
Fantastic. I always wondered, how you tag team that from a directing standpoint. So that's pretty cool. Last question I have, it's a two-parter. Do you have any upcoming projects in the works, and where can we find you on social media?
Yeah, we are working on a bunch of things right now. Nothing that is at the stage that we want to talk about. We don't want to jinx anything. But what we like to say is that if you like some of our past films, including Becky, we're planning to keep going with that intense, visceral violence. So don't worry, there'll be more of that from us in the future. And then you can find us on Instagram. I think it's and then caryandjohn.com. We update a blog every once in a while and show our new work and some of our old work. But we show a lot of this behind the scenes stuff on Instagram, so that's a cool place to check us out.
Right on. We'll have to follow you, and we'll send you over the link for the interview once that's posted. And just had a really great time at Becky. One of my favorite movies of the year, honestly. I had a blast with this. Super brutal. I love Lulu Wilson in this film, and I can't wait for everybody else to see this movie. Hopefully they love it as much as I do. And it was an honor to talk to you guys today, and I had a blast with this.
Me too.
So cool this is amazing. Yeah, this is so cool.
Yeah, for sure. It was
Appreciate
nice talking to you guys.
Yeah,
and,
you too. Talk again soon.
Yeah, for sure. I'll send you over the link for the interview. Have a good rest of your day.
Awesome. You too.
You too. Thanks.
So hopefully you guys enjoyed that interview and conversation I had with these really awesome lads, Cary and Jonathan, really great directors, really great collaboration between these two. It's great learning about making the movie of Becky, how they got involved with the project, working with the actors, how they really direct each scene, and working as a team and how they direct as a team, how they break it down to certain scenes, and also learning about working with these actors, a young actress, which is not always the easiest thing to do. With the child labor laws, they can only work so many hours in a day, have to get school in and all that fun stuff. So, there's a lot of obstacles that these guys overcame, and you can really see the final product. It was all worth it. They put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into Becky. And again, it's one of my favorite films of the year, and I highly recommend it. I can't wait for everybody to see this film when it's released on June 5th. So definitely stay tuned to Cinephellas.com, our website. We always have written reviews and news up on there. Also, our social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also on YouTube, if you guys haven't already, subscribe to our channel. We got a lot of great podcasts, interviews, reviews, and all that fun stuff. And again, we have a new Twitch channel. Go on over to Twitch if you're into that kind of stuff and video games and streaming and things like that. Look up Cinephellas and follow us on there. We'll have a lot of great content coming your way in the new Level Up with Cinephellas series, video game series, for all those wild gamers out there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this interview with Jonathan and Cary. We got a lot more of these podcasts and interviews coming up, so stay tuned for that. And as always, thank you for listening and following us on all our social media outlets. This is Logan Myerz signing out from the Cinephellas Studios for episode 77 of the Cinephellas Podcast. Until next time, cheers!
God, I love those wild rascals. Every time I see them, they seem to get wilder. I didn't even think that was possible. As always, Love Big Ray.